All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are talking about Lakers trade rumors in tonight's video. Summer League is going on. Love the way a couple of these cats look. Very interesting, very intriguing. We're going to make a video on that soon. But folks, LeBron James recently has been preaching patience as he gets ready for the Olympics here. Unfortunately for LeBron, this isn't a Guns N' Roses song. I'm not a huge fan of patience. At this point in time, I get it. They were a year removed from the Western Conference Finals loss. But if the Lakers don't make any moves this offseason, I will be very pissed. So we're going to throw this in and we're going to talk about it in today's video. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Lakers content. If we try and get this video to 200 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So basically, LeBron James said, of course the Lakers can win another title before I retire. He said this quote exactly. We still have two guys who commit every single day, myself and AD. We commit to excellence. We're not that far off. We're 1 year removed from the Western Conference Finals. This past year didn't go as well as we would like, but we're not that far off. So then we saw an article that the Lakers shouldn't rush a trade roster moves after LeBron James pay cut amid NBA rumors. And here was the excerpt I caught from a little bit of everybody. If they can clear enough room to gain access to the taxpayer mid-level exception, a possibility perhaps in play after LeBron James took a pay cut on his new contract. They have a few targets in mind. According to Jovan Buha and Shams Charania, I don't know. I've never known how to say Shams or Woj's name, to be honest with you. Of the Athletic, Gary Trent Jr. and Spencer Dinwiddie are two names to watch if LA can access that exception. Yeah, you're 2 years removed from the Western Conference Finals. Unfortunately, last year reminds me a lot of, honestly, when Golden State won the championship a couple of years ago. Now, the good news for the Lakers is the Celtics were a really good freaking basketball team. I actually, now that I say this out loud, I don't know if any team could have taken down the Boston Celtics, whether it was the Mavericks or whoever. Boston was that good this season. But if there was a year to take down like the Denver Nuggets, the champions 2 years ago, that ended up, taking down the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals a couple years ago, well, this was the year. And it's crazy because LeBron James is his age starts with a freaking 4. And this whole I hit the mic, sorry. This whole patience thing just pisses me off because it's like, I'm so sick of it. The Lakers, since the championship, have done two things. They've either signed a bunch of crap free agents, guys like Gabe Vincent, Christian Wood, and we've had to convince ourselves that these dudes are going to make a huge impact in a championship roster, or they've done like practically nothing and they just want to run it back. And obviously, since the championship a couple of years ago, nothing great has come from it. Anthony Davis, I will agree with LeBron James, is one of the more and this sounds absurd to say because he's a top 10 player in the NBA. Anthony Davis is so unbelievably underrated. Like, maybe underrated is the wrong word. He's so underappreciated across the league. It's just unreal. And at the end of the day, I do think Anthony Davis and LeBron James as a tandem, as a superstar tandem, I do think that's enough to win a championship. But when I look at the rest of the Lakers roster, there's no way you can convince me that the roster last year, like, you're losing dudes like Taurean Prince. Like, we're running back what? Unless Dalton Connect can have like this crazy freaking rookie season like CJ Stroud did with the Texans last year, like, I don't know why anything would change. Unfortunately, the Western Conference is getting better and better and better. You've got teams like the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder that are just rising up the ranks. So moving on real quick before we get into our full rant here, and like Spencer Dinwiddie, like, he's the mid-level guy. Like, Gary Trent Jr. would actually help out the Los Angeles Lakers so much. Spencer Dinwiddie was really solid for the most part as the bench point guard for the Lakers last season. But like, if your offseason is just hiring JJ Redick, picking up two dudes in the draft and like re-signing Spencer Dinwiddie, it's like, right, like, I might call it a wraps for this upcoming season. And here's where I get even more pissed off. And here was 5 minutes into the video. This is the whole point of the video. The trade market, I saw this report, or I saw this headliner on Bleacher Report, so take it with a grain of salt. The trade market doesn't have what the Lakers need yet. And here was the exact excerpt. Remember, the trade market is fluid. Star players can request deals at any time. Slow starts can convince front offices it's time to pull the plug, especially ahead of a draft as rich as the 2025 talent grab already appears. And an impact addition could still be available to the Lakers at some point between now and February's trade deadline. They have to make sure their asset collection is where it needs to be to answer opportunities knock whenever it comes. And I'm reading something like this, and I'm thinking to myself, after covering the NBA for like 4 years now, I can't think of a time where a trade deadline move was that big of a needle move. And so here we are, just for fun to make this video interactive. I'm going to Google LeBron James's age. Oh, there you have it. LeBron James is 39 years old, and he'll be 40 on December 30th, i.e. a couple of months into the season. So this time next year, or playoff time next year, LeBron James will be 40 years old. Interesting. Literally, off the top of my head, I cannot name a single trade deadline superstar acquisition that turned a team into a like legitimate title contender that won the title. And, that's unfair because I'm sure it's happened, and I'm sure it's happened multiple times across all sports. But like, I'm thinking to myself, and like the profile picture, the cover picture for that comment, that take was Trae Young. And I'm thinking to myself, like, if Trae Young is even added at the trade deadline with like a month or two left to play, is it going to change the needle that much? Like they always say, the last thing you should do is trade for a dude during the deadline if you're trying to win a championship this year. Like, you need 82 games. And this is what's crazy about like all sports is, unless you're playing it, chemistry matters. Locker room morale matters, but chemistry really freaking matters. And like, I'm even just playing around with the idea of like getting Trae Young at the trade deadline. Yes, long term, that really helps out the Lakers. But LeBron James will be 40 by the time the trade deadline's here. Like, folks, we're running out of time here. That's just my point. Like, we're running out of freaking time. I'm trying to like think to myself, and maybe this is unfair as an example, but like, let's say the Celtics didn't trade for, or they didn't pick up Drew Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis until this year's deadline. Like, would they have won the championship? Would they have been that good? Like, I highly doubt it. You need summer. You need practice. You need months learning each other's game, learning each other's strengths and weaknesses. I don't think a trade deadline move, even for the best player available, which could probably be Trae Young, I don't even think that takes the Lakers to the championship mark, because I think it's just too late for a move like that. So this video was more of a rant and ramble that the Lakers just have yet to make any notable move. But let me know what you guys are thinking. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily Lakers content. Thank you guys for watching, seriously. But let me know, what are your thoughts on the Lakers? Can we get a move going? What move do you want? Peace.